Welcome back to our minute-to-minute analysis of Matrix Resurrections. Last time, Neo met his creation and Smith returned. Today, Thomas is talking to his therapist about what just happened. Was it real, or was it just in his mind? What happens when you are a prisoner of a system that you cannot sense? A prison for your mind, designed so you can never escape. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Neo is on the floor, touching his fingertips, telling himself that what is happening is not real. The offices of Deus Machina is a disaster. Water is falling from the sprinkler system, flooding the office. Then the black cat, Deja Vu, appears, and somehow, it's not getting wet. Smith aims his gun at Tom's head, but before he could pull the trigger, space-time begins to distort. The first time we saw Matrix Resurrections, we thought it was Tom having a nightmare, but soon we understood that the Analyst had to get Neo out of that situation and into his office. The Analyst has used the cat to disrupt time and make Tom believe that everything he had just experienced is part of his delusion. The reason Neo touches his fingers and repeats that it's all in his mind, it's possibly a relaxation technique taught to him by the Analyst.
Can you hear me, Thomas? Follow my voice.
It sounds like the Analyst is trying to hypnotize Tom, but it's much more than that. When he tells him to follow his voice or to touch his fingertips, he also asks him if he hears the bell or if he remembers how he got to the office. These are not random questions, they are fundamental manipulations in the Matrix. In the first Matrix movie, Morpheus says something about the human senses.
If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
When the Analyst tells Tom to touch his fingertips or to listen to his environment, he tries to convince Tom that by paying attention to his senses, he can return to reality. However, as Morpheus mentioned, what you touch and what you hear are simple signals that our brain interprets. The Analyst is using his words, his manipulation, to keep Neo trapped. And most importantly, what he tells Thomas is the opposite of what Morpheus would tell him, representing an attempt to immerse Tom further into the Matrix. Now, the Analyst's glasses are blue, alluding to the blue pill and the conformity within the Matrix. His cat is called Deja Vu, a detail we have explained several times. The cat's name is even on its feeding bowls. The Analyst explains to Tom that he came to him because he didn't know the difference between reality and fiction, and also because he tried to fly by leaping off a building. This is significant because he continues a line of dialogue that is an apparent contradiction to Morpheus. It was thanks to Morpheus that Neo managed to jump from a building to another. It was thanks to him that Neo learned how to fly. The Analyst is trying to further confuse Tom by reminding him that he tried to fly to ensure that if any past memories resurface, he can manipulate and replace those memories. As the Analyst continues to talk to Tom, scenes from when Neo first faced his mental crisis flash on screen. Thomas was celebrating his Game of the Year award for his game, The Matrix. At the after party, you see decorations bearing the colors blue and red, symbolizing the blue and red pills. There are also blue and red colored drinks, glasses, and big pills on the tables. There's even a rabbit, as in the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. At one brief moment between flashbacks, you can see someone else who isn't Tom holding the trophy. This is Tom, but with a different digital appearance, or RSI, residual self-image. The actor who is playing Tom is none other than James McTeague, director of the movie V for Vendetta, and director of the tech demo Matrix Awakenings, which was released around the same time Matrix Resurrections was in theaters. In several parts during the beginning of the film, Tom has different appearances that everyone else sees but himself. This shows that his digital look has been changed who knows how many times. It was at this party where Tom tried to fly. He casually walks towards the edge of the balcony, while all the other guests try frantically to stop him. Right before he was about to jump, you could see a window-washing lady on a scaffolding, watching the man who was about to jump. Now Thomas and the Analyst start to talk about Morpheus.
He texted me.
Who?
Morpheus.
So he's back.
The Analyst may be wondering who attacked the Deus Machina offices. Was it Morpheus? Unlikely, for reasons that will be revealed later. When Thomas told him that Morpheus was at the office, The analyst possibly thought that it was the original Morpheus for a moment, but the last thing the analyst could have imagined this Morpheus to be was a Morpheus created by Neo to find him and free him from the Matrix. This was an experiment that the analyst could never have predicted. The analyst asks to see the text messages that Morpheus supposedly sent Tom, but they were deleted from the phone, and Tom thinks that maybe the messages were part of his delirium. However, Tom remains in doubt as he asks the analyst if that is what he is supposed to say.
If we got in my car and drove to your office, what do you think we'd find there?
Nothing. Because there was no attack. No one was killed. No one texted. My mind made it all up. Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Tom asks if he is crazy, and the analyst gives a supposed explanation for the origin of his delirium.
Of course. It was your great ambition to make a game that was indistinguishable from reality. To achieve this goal, you converted elements of your life into narrative. Your sublimated anger toward your business partner cast him as your nemesis. A married woman named Tiffany became the trinity of a doomed romance. Even your dislike of my cat made it into your matrix. There's nothing wrong with that.
This comes off sounding like a threat, doesn't it? Letting Tom know that sometimes fantasies can cause harm to others. This brief conversation between Tom and the analyst shows how much control the analyst has over Tom's life. He is the antithesis of Morpheus. The analyst is responsible for submerging people into their delusions, blurring the line between truth and lies, causing confusion, and leading Thomas to think that he is crazy. He's gaslighting, but much deeper. The analyst constantly changes reality to manipulate Neo, who is almost convinced that he is crazy. But there is still a part of Thomas that knows that this is all fake. A part of him still wants to wake up, and another part senses that the analyst is a liar. That part is called Neo, and he is about to reemerge. The analyst is Morpheus's opposite, but he has plenty of similarities with the architect, at least in the way he projects himself. He is a fairly soft-spoken person and very analytical, hence his name. He likes to maintain control of the entire simulation with his deception. Unlike the architect, who observed the Matrix like a god, hidden somewhere high above, looking down on everyone, the analyst is in the trenches. He is inside the simulation, modifying everything that happens, and personally taking care of the anomaly. We could say that he is better and more competent at this job than the architect was, which makes him very dangerous. Next time, Neo is rescued by the window washer, who now has blue hair. For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the desert of the real.